Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
I'm excited about this show today, hon.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. What a treat this show is going to be because we're wearing our coordinating hoodies. Of course, yours is brought to you by the fine folks at Sherwood Austin Homes. And mine is brought to you by those super swell guys at Sherwood Austin Mortgage.
Find out more at sherwoodaustin.com.
That's beautiful. The Session with Londa and David is kind of a fun program because it's really just us having a conversation like we have sitting in the morning in our coffee chairs.
Yeah, if you want to know what it's like to hang out with us, this is it, except with a little more cursing on my part.
In real life.
I clean it up for the show.
Yeah, you do clean it up for the show. But in real life, there's a little more profanity.
I would curse so much more if you felt like it was okay.
I don't think it adds to the content of the program. That's the thing. A little spice from time to time, that's good. Like when I flirt with you and every now and then I say something a little racy. That's okay because we're married and we're in love and that's allowed. But, you know, no one wants to hear just salty language for no reason. And you don't use it for no reason. Usually you use it when you're dissatisfied with something. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But yeah, there's a little bit more salty language in private when it's just the two of us, and typically it's you. I'm not a big salty dog. I try for you, though, to entertain you. I throw in some, like I'll yell, son of a whore. And that's funny sometimes, right? But that's not really profane. Son of a whore is not profane.
You're not okay, I'm going to start pointing it out to you.
Point it out. Tell me all about it.
Oh, I think you don't realize how much you curse.
Dirtier my language is since we've been together. Probably a lot dirtier, probably, yes. Because I hear it more.
Okay. It's my fault.
I don't think it's your fault. I think it's just a different thing. I just think it's a little different. It's a little loosey-goosey.
Well,
it's like how you say every now and then we might have a cocktail on the program. You know?
You don't allow that either.
It's not that I don't allow it. No, it's not that I don't allow it. It's just, again, what does it add to the content of the show?
Could be funny.
It could be funny. You want to do that?
No.
Let's do that. I'll go down and pour us some shots. You carry the show for about 2 minutes, and we'll have some drinks.
Hey, I'll tell you, though, because you just said that, something that yesterday I think was the first time this happened at this house.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know, we bought a house. We looked
high and
near
low,
and far,
hither, thither, and yon,
for a home that would accommodate our businesses.
Right.
Because we thought, well, we could go buy or rent commercial space, or we could take that investment that we would make in that and make it into our personal home. So we did that, but it took a while to find just the right thing. We finally found the right thing. So now our home and office is all integrated.
Right.
Now, if you ever come to our office, you won't even realize you're at our home except when you drive up.
Right. Yes, our office is away from our normal living space, and it is
very office-y.
Very office-y. It looks like you walked into a strip mall, and there's in the strip mall,
Sherwood Austin Mortgage and Sherwood Austin Homes.
1,000 square foot room that is office-y.
Right. So yesterday, though, this was kind of fun because I was cooking dinner for one of our kids, and I'll get into that a little bit more later in the show. We've been very kind of hesitant to share exactly what's been going on in our family. The kids have now made it public, and so we also can make it public. And so we'll talk a little bit more about exactly what's been going on.
Sure.
But so I was making dinner to take to that family, and I got a work call while I was cooking. So I kind of turned everything down, ran upstairs, took the work call, got that all situated, ran back downstairs, kept cooking, got another work call. It was actually an email that came through. Hey, I need you to look at these properties for me. Can we blah, blah, blah. Came back upstairs, sat in front of my computer, got all the contacts made for the 4 properties they want to see.
Sure.
Got it all lined up. La 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 la. And then went back down and finished dinner. And that is one of the reasons I love working from home.
Right.
Because it just integrates so well. And also, I'm a weird eater. And so I'm a snacky. I would rather have lots of meals all throughout the day, lots of little meals,
like a bird,
and then maybe one big one. And so throughout the day, right? It's easier if I'm in my space. I could just pop back and forth.
Sure,
right?
A little bounce.
Yeah, and if I get like I've been at my desk for too long, then I can go. Fill the little pond or pull some weeds or sit in the hot tub, which I did one day this last week after I had some showings in the morning, some showings in the late afternoon and evening. And I thought, hey, wait a minute. In between those, I could sit in the hot tub.
Yes.
And let my muscles kind of unwind. It was so fun. I made an espresso, not a coffee, but an espresso.
Right.
With some, I put some coconut milk in it. So good. And then in my grandmother's china cup.
Oh yeah, I came home and discovered you were drinking from a fancy coffee cup.
Took it out to the hot tub.
With You took that little dainty saucer to the hot tub and cup?
No saucer.
It looked like you were doing a little tea party when I came home.
No saucer, just cup.
Okay.
And I did. I took it out to because I believe that nice dishes should be used. And
I agree, because why have them?
If you use them, sometimes they get broken.
Right.
Sometimes your favorite water glass breaks.
Yeah, that's sad when that happens. You did that this week.
I did. I love vintage barware, especially 50s to 70s barware. I mean, who doesn't? Right?
That's a thing some people are into, yes. Usually they're 85 years old, and they're showing it to you because they bought it new.
Oh, anyway. So I found this vintage shaker.
Right.
Cocktail shaker, and it had like measurements and recipes and different things on the outside.
Margarita.
Oh yeah, but it was like old, right? Probably had lead. It was probably lead glass, whatever. Anyway, I've used that for I found it maybe 8 years ago in a thrift store.
And you use it for drinking water. You don't use it to mix drinks, which I think is weird.
It is the perfect big water glass.
Sure.
And I don't know why it was so perfect, but it fit perfectly. It was the right weight. Everything about it was perfect. And
it was a bar shaker, and what you need is the metal thing to go on top
I didn't
to mix
need it,
your
though.
stuff.
I didn't need it
That's
because I didn't use it that way. Anyway, I broke it last week, but who cares? I got 8 years of joy out of it, and that's the more important thing.
I'm just thrilled that I didn't break it.
Well, stuff is just stuff.
I know, and I know we say that, but I don't ever want to be responsible for breaking something nice of yours.
I might, I have 2 bowls that, are very sentimental to me. They were my mom's. One of them is this gorgeous milk glass with, it's maybe hand blown. I don't know. It's just beautiful bowl with tips on it.
Oh, the blue thing.
And yeah, it's like a light
okay.
blue.
Yeah, it looks like art.
Like a milky blue.
Your mom made it?
No.
Oh.
It was a wedding gift to my parents when they got married.
Aw. Your real dad and real
biological?
Mom. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
not your step. It's not a step gift.
Yeah. You can be real without being...
Sure, yes. I see what you're saying, and I'm a stepdad.
In 1959, I think, is when they got married.
Okay.
Yeah, 1959.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'd be... Even if that broke, because it's probably the most sentimental item I have currently, because all the rest of them are broken.
Do you want to
Even if it broke, I would still I'd be for a minute, and then it's just stuff.
Right. And do you know that I don't touch that bowl? It looks like something I shouldn't touch, so I don't. I do not touch it. So if you use it, that's great. I don't touch it.
I don't use that one very often. Holidays.
Right.
I use it.
And you put like snacks in it, right? During holidays?
I put whatever. I like whatever.
Yeah.
Salads, jellos. I don't know. Whatever
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the other bowl?
The dark blue one with the scalloped edges.
Well, that may be the one I'm thinking of.
No, one is dark blue and big.
Uh-huh.
And the other one is like a milky white light blue and smaller.
Yeah. The blue pointy one is the one I'm thinking of. I don't know the dark blue one.
Yeah. Because you don't go in that drawer.
No, I'm not allowed. That's not
Anyway,
for me.
okay, enough of that. Should we talk about this thing right now, or should we talk about the markets? What do you want to talk about next, David?
I'm up for whatever you want to discuss. I'm easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Okay.
Yesterday morning, the markets moved dramatically because the talks over the Strait of Hormuz. I like
it. We're going to go market mindset and then
I love it. Yeah. So the talks over the Strait of Hormuz kind of collapsed on Sunday, right? And J.D. Vance flew home without an agreement. Well, immediately, Donald Trump announced he was going to take over the Strait of Hormuz, put his aircraft carriers right there, and was now going to choke out the Iranian opportunity to charge tariffs to get through the Strait of Hormuz and shoot anything down that caused them any trouble at all. That's what he said. Well, let me tell you, that made gas prices and oil prices jump early in the morning yesterday. Okay. You know what's happened since then?
No.
They've come down.
Because I don't pay attention unless you tell me.
They've come down dramatically. They're now back under $100 a barrel. I think they're today at about $96 a barrel of oil.
Okay.
Because we did blockade the strait, and we are giving people safe passage through there right now, which is shocking. And everybody said, oh, it's not going to work. We're starting World War III. Well, in fact, it is working. Here's how well it's working. That decision has cut off about $300 million a day of income from Iran. Let me say that one more time. $300 million a day. Guess who's ready to talk peace again? Iran. So maybe not such a bad idea. The reason that's significant is because the markets have calmed down today. We opened way off yesterday, but now we're flat on the day.
What will that mean for, your regular consumer? Will we really even see any...
We'll see gas prices start to come back down. Here's the problem. Gas prices jump up and it takes a long time to come down.
Right.
But they're going to start coming back down because they started coming back down when we ended the war, when we did the 2-week ceasefire, remember? And we said last week, well, we hope it all goes well. And
right.
Here's to hope. Well, that went sideways on Sunday. So when Monday markets opened, it was not good. And prices started jumping. The price of a barrel of oil went back up to like 110. Well, now it's back down to 96 because apparently it's working. We are giving people passage through the Strait of Hormuz. And this is from financial people. This is not from the national news media. This is from national financial people. People who comment on finance.
Yeah, because you follow all that
I do.
stuff.
And this morning I did not watch any national news. I just got out of bed and went and played disc golf. And I was working early.
You got out of bed and you had coffee with me.
That's true. I did have coffee with you.
Because I made coffee.
And then I went to play disc golf. And didn't watch any news, but I did look at all my financial updates that came through throughout the day. Another good thing that's working in our favor is the producer price index came out today on Tuesday. And the producer price index, people expected inflation month over month and year over year to be up dramatically because of this war in the Middle East. Not so. All of the figures were dramatically lower than anticipated. And that is also having a cooling effect on the market, and things are not as hot as we'd expected. And so the markets are doing better than we
consumer
expected.
Confidence begin to rise if this trend continues?
Well, here's the thing. The cost of making goods and services is what the producer price index is. And usually inflation follows cost to make and manufacture goods, right? They didn't go up nearly as much as anticipated. Not nearly. We expected to see a 1.5% increase month over month from the month before to last month because of this war.
Right.
And instead, it only went up half a point. Half a point. Not 1.5, half a point.
Gotcha.
That's a big deal. If something costs $100 to make, it went up 50 cents. You know what I mean? Not $1.50. That's a big deal. That's a big difference. So that has helped to make the stock market also behave today, the day after we had a haywire market because we walked away from the negotiating table. So it's really interesting to see how much difference a day makes.
Yeah.
And so the thing I want to talk about is, this is the end of it, so this is just me narrowing it all down.
In summary.
We love to talk about the sensational things. We love to talk about the crazy crud that our president says about blowing up civilizations on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's crazy talk.
That's exciting to talk about, right?
Right.
But what's important is to see what's happening for real in the world.
Yeah.
And Iran has said some irrational, crazy things too.
Yeah.
And, And both things have made markets go haywire on a short-term basis.
Right.
But all of this stuff is fluid, and depending on what's happening in the world, we can actually report what's going on. And what's going on is things didn't get much more expensive to make. Way less than anticipated. Way less. And that's big news. I don't think you'll hear it in the national media, though, because every morning you hear, it's more expensive to buy gas at the gas pumps.
Well, fewer and fewer people are tuning into the national media. Anyway, they're more and more people are tuning into their favorite YouTube channel that's discussing the news, or their favorite TikTok channel that is discussing the news.
And here's the problem with that. All of our media that we look at on our phones is curated. But good news, it's curated for us because it knows what we like. So if we like outrage, it's curated to make us outraged. If we don't like outrage, it's curated to make us feel good.
Say that again, because I think this is really important for people to capture. If you are a person who consumes social media, you need to know this. And if you have people in your life, maybe you don't, but people in your life consume a lot of social media and you don't understand where they're getting their viewpoint from, say that again.
Well, your social media is curated to your tastes. Here's an easy example. I'm fascinated with talk about alien disclosure. Fascinated. Whenever I turn on any social media thing, the very first thing that pops up is, do you think the government's going to tell us about aliens today? Because I think it's hilarious and fun to watch, right? It's exciting.
So whenever you see it, you slow down and watch.
And it knows how long I watch it, so it knows what I like, and shows me more of that.
When you hear the term the algorithm, this is what we're talking about.
That's exactly right.
This is honestly, this explanation is for maybe, our listeners who aren't as attuned to social media and that kind of thing.
All I'm saying is, if you get your news from social media, it is curated to what you enjoy. And if you enjoy outrage, you'll see all the outrageous things that are happening in the world immediately right there in your algorithm, right there for you.
Right.
And if you think Donald Trump is a terrible womanizing Nazi, you're going to get every single video that mentions him being a terrible womanizing Nazi.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
And vice versa.
Now, here's the difference between that and mainstream media. When Roger Ailes was figuring out the magic to have a competing news product, national news became party specific. Roger Ailes decided, when he was helping to put together Fox News, everybody's fighting for the same sets of eyes. News is balanced and fair, and we're not talking about party divisions. We're just doing the news. And Roger Ailes thought, you know what? half the country's liberal and half the country's conservative. The regular news media kind of skews a little liberal, and that makes sense because they're liberal artists who are reporters, right? That makes sense. They were raised in education. Education leans a little liberal, so that makes sense. So Roger Ailes thought, you know what? Instead of fighting for the same eyes, why don't I take half of the audience in a day and make a conservative product that people are going to want to see because they're conservative and it's going to talk about family values? You know what? That was genius. However, it ruined fair and unbiased news for everyone, because then the other media organizations thought, we just lost half our audience. What are we going to do? Let's double down.
And I do think that social media is now another doubling down.
Well, social media is exponentially worse because social media listens to what your conversation says and programs your content to that. Mm-hmm. So if you say, I think I'm a socialist, you'll get every single video that's positive of Zohran Mamdani in New York City. You'll get every single one of those videos. You won't hear anything positive about capitalism in your media because it's targeted to you.
This makes it even more important to have diverse conversations.
Absolutely.
And diverse followings on your social media.
Correct.
Interact and engage with diversity.
Isn't that interesting?
That was a really good statement. I liked that.
If you
interact and engage with diversity.
If you only talk to people who think like you, your worldview will shrink. Talk to people who think differently than you, and guess what? You'll have new ideas and see new stuff that you've never noticed. If you talk to me about sunsets on a regular basis, before you know it, I'm going to start to notice the sunsets. But if you talk to me only about disc golf and only about trombone, I'm never going to notice the sunset. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't mean to be preachy.
I like it though. I like it. I think this is so important because we're seeing so much division.
Right.
In our country, hell, in our own family.
Right. Because
of a lack of diverse thought and conversation.
Let me tell you something. Growing up, the son of a fast food franchisee and an English professor mother, I got to know all kinds of different personalities and see behind the curtain in all kinds of different walks of life. And I got to meet international students, and I got to meet all kinds of people.
In a university town.
Yes, growing up in that household, you know, one of our best family friends was a Pakistani guy, right? I learned all kinds of things about Pakistani culture as a child. Nothing I would have ever heard about if I grew up in a typical Southern home.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I think diversity and belief that you need to get to know everybody, whether or not they think like you or act like you, will make you more well-rounded and a better student of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why, you know, post-high school education, however you do that, could be trade school, could be university, could be a lot of different things, is so important because you're at a time in your life where you should be at least open to lots of different new ideas.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's why also I don't watch Fox News exclusively. I don't watch the Today Show only. I don't watch CBS Morning News only. I don't watch Good Morning America only. I watch every single news product. When I sit down to watch the news, I go from product to product to product to product to see what the opinions are, and then I can make my own. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just listening to something on my phone that's catered exactly to my interests.
Right.
And I think that gives me a more nuanced look at stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, catered to my interests, financial news, that's different because I have to look at financial news to know what's going on in the market so I can speak intelligently about why interest rates and stocks are moving the way they are.
Yeah.
Right? And that is curated to me, and I actually pay money for services that do that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And I guess what I'm trying to say about that is, if you want to have kind of a broad worldview, you need to listen to lots of stuff, not just what's interesting to you. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm going to say about it. That's my story, and I'm sorry that I'm preachy.
I'm not catching that.
Okay, good.
At all.
Yeah. If you're getting your news exclusively from some person on YouTube, bad news. You're not learning anything new. You're just hearing what you want to hear.
It's what do they call that? You're in an echo chamber?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And if you don't interact with people that have different views than you, you're again in an echo chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, this is one reason why embracing, what's the word I want to use? Embracing life, I guess, is really what I'm getting at. Embracing life and all the different things that happen in life is important, because you never know what you're going to learn from that, what you're going to discover about yourself. Embracing everything that comes to you, people who you interact with, that kind of thing, right? You can protect your peace. You can protect your peace so much that you have a really, really small, sad life.
Right. That's right.
I
think that's interesting. I think the moral of the story is people should live their lives like how you enjoy a buffet. And here's what I mean. You get a bite of every single thing on the buffet.
I do.
And you will not go into a buffet and load up on one thing.
No, boy, I will dirty up 6 plates because I got one bite of everything.
That's exactly right. And let me tell you something. You learn about what you do like and what you don't like if you try everything. Mm-hmm. You don't learn about what you do like and you don't like if you don't try anything but what you always have.
Yep.
And if you always have vanilla pudding, all you're going to like is vanilla pudding. And that's all you'll ever get. And your taste buds will get sad and shriveled up. So try everything. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Embrace life. Speaking of,
I think you should.
Let's move on.
Okay.
And we're going to share a little bit right now about our granddaughter, Lucy, who was born 2 months and a couple of days ago.
Right.
And this is what we have been dealing with and going through at the same time that we were trying to move. And it is one of the reasons why our move took so long. We were delayed a little bit, but then there was also things, in our house that had to be done and things like that. So when our granddaughter was born, she was first diagnosed with HEI, and that is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Mm-hmm. Which is she had a traumatic birth and didn't get, quite enough oxygen when she was first born, and things should be fine. So it was very scary, few days, and then everything's should be fine. Mm-hmm. And then it was not fine. And then she had some seizures that were very scary and stopped breathing and some different things like that. And then she was diagnosed with a genetic mutation called ATP1A3.
Okay.
And then as the geneticists at Seattle Children's Hospital who got involved, because then we had another really scary incident happened where she was life flighted to Seattle, and then that's where they diagnosed her with this. They found out genetic mutation. So because they had samples from, and I'm getting really vulnerable here, but they had samples at Seattle Children's Hospital from her older brother Jack, who passed away 6 years ago.
Right.
And so they compared the two samples and found out, genetic mutation. Now, they didn't test Jack for this particular mutation 6-7 years ago because they didn't have the knowledge. So everything in medicine advances, right? And so more advanced medicine means more advanced ability to discover.
Sure. Like you can do different genetic testing now than you could 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and more in depth.
Right.
And so then they came back home, and then now we have another diagnosis as the team at Children's Hospital in Seattle and her geneticist is digging deeper, they find out more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now she has a diagnosis of early infantile developmental epileptic encephalopathy. That was a mouthful.
Thankfully, I didn't have to read it.
Yeah.
Because I would have messed that up.
And if you pause this and you go back and then you search this, Google search it or put it in Chat GPT, I would tell you maybe don't. Because unless you have to deal with this, you probably don't want to know what it is and what it means. The geneticist called it a devastating diagnosis.
Which I think is a little short-sighted, saying that to a parent.
Well, they're not, a geneticist may be not known for their bedside manner.
Sure.
But they are known for, being direct.
And precise.
Precise, yes. So, we have a little backstory. Lucy has 4 siblings. Our grandson, who's 13, our grandson, who is 11, seemingly no medical problems at all.
Right.
And then she has 2 other older siblings, Amelia, who would have been 10 this last weekend, who passed away when she was, I think, 5 or 6 months old.
Sure.
It's been 10 years. It's getting a little hazy, And then Jack, who, like I mentioned, would be 6-ish, maybe turning 7, who passed away at 8 months old about 6 years ago.
Right.
And so that's a little bit of the history. So having another baby that was born and has seizures and has, very similar symptomatically. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions about, well, why'd they have another baby or whatever? Well, they didn't know it was genetic, and there were other circumstances that were kind of easily explained away, and it doesn't matter because here we are.
Right.
Which is why, I think having a big world is really important. In moments like this too, right?
Sure.
Having a big diverse network of people that you can talk to and lean on and lean into. We need a lot of different things from a lot of different people, and a lot of people have asked how can we help, and the answer is we're not sure.
Right.
The kids, when people ask me, how is Lucy? I don't really know how to answer that question. So I asked her parents, how do you answer that question? And they said, we say she's good and we're taking it day by day.
Oh, that's a very good answer and true.
Mm-hmm. So, the likelihood, the prognosis is either severe disabilities or infant death in infancy. Well, it's not
super happy.
It's not super happy news.
Right.
So in the meantime, we live and we love and we are there for each other. And I think you've heard that if you're a regular listener of our podcast, number 1, thank you. Number 2, you've probably heard that over the last 2 months of us kind of leaning into this idea of love your people, take care of your people, break bread with your people, hold your people close, that kind of thing, because our family is going through this. Right. So we love you. For those of you that have asked, we're so appreciative. And I mostly appreciate that when I say I don't know or I say, well, it's not good, but I don't know what else to say. You've been very gracious and caring, and I appreciate that so much.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad you talked about it, and I don't have anything to add to that at all. I think our job now is to be present for each other and for our family, and offer any kind of support we can offer. And we need to consider ourselves and offer some support to each other as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is hard. It is hard.
And now you know why I haven't missed a workout in 14 weeks.
Right. That's right.
Because, and like our oldest daughter, Danielle, says the same thing. She's like, I go to the gym so I don't go crazy.
Right. Routines keep you sane.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And systems will save you as well. It's all the same philosophy.
I don't know how I'm going to get through today. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a lot of, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm trying to think of? A lot of anxiety.
Sure.
Around it, so routine is really important. And then the whole moving and living between two houses, you can only imagine how difficult that was. But I remember that, I do this every day. I do this every day. I do this every day. Because put it on repeat and the rest will follow.
And the rest will follow. All right, we have about 30 seconds left in the show. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think that was really what I wanted to share. Just a really heartfelt thank you.
I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're explaining it. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, my name is David Austin. We're going to be here next week, and we want you to tune in because we're going to talk about some crazy stuff and go to a prison room. See you next week.